Good afternoon and welcome. Federal funding for infrastructure in Native communities across the country has long lagged behind the need. From housing to clean water access to surface transportation, substandard infrastructure continues to impact the everyday lives of Native Americans. Last year, tribal organizations representing more than 580 tribes from across the country wrote to Congress detailing the unmet infrastructure needs of their communities across almost every sector and urging development of an Indian Marshall Plan to address these inadequacies. We listened and we acted. Thanks to bipartisan leadership of many on this committee, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act contains more than $11 billion in dedicated resources for Native communities to improve crumbling roads and bridges throughout Indian country, provide tribes with access to adequate water and sanitation, enhance broadband services for Native communities, and strengthen tribal climate resiliency, among other critical infrastructure priorities. Today, we will examine the implementation status of those provisions 6 months after the law has passed. We will hear from federal agencies in charge of this historic federal investment and learn how such investments are poised to deploy and improve infrastructure in Native communities across the country. The bipartisan infrastructure law is just the first step to address the poor infrastructure conditions in Native communities. Tribal hospitals, schools, detention facilities, and other critical infrastructure are top of mind. And for Native Hawaiians in particular, we still have a lot of work to do. And so I'm pleased to announce that the committee will hold a field hearing in Hawaii, the first in more than 10 years, to continue our work to ensure equitable access to federal infrastructure resources for Native Hawaiians. I'd like to extend a warm welcome and aloha to Mr. Yoshimi and to our other witnesses joining us today, and I look forward to your testimony and our discussion. And I will turn it over to my friend, the Vice Chair, for her opening statement.